What's up, guys? How you doing? It's John. I want to take a closer look at the original Xbox. Now, this one's cool because it's modded. It's got emulators on it. It's got games built into it. So I want to take a closer look at it. It's got a 1 terabyte built-in hard drive with a bunch of games. And I want to do a shout out to my friend Kirk, aka Gamester81. I'm sure if you've seen my channel before, you know I've done multiple shout outs for him. He's an incredible friend of mine. He helped me with this, which is cool. So I want to show you the menu, some of the games, what it can do. The original Xbox is one of my favorite consoles, certainly. It's a great system for emulation because it's basically like a consoleized PC, right? So really cool that I'm holding this in my wrist. It's a heavy system. It's like my wrist is getting sore because it's so heavy. But without any further ado, let's take a closer look at the system itself, what this can do, and go from there. Thanks for watching. Here it is, the original Xbox boot up. I'll tell you, I love the Xbox. I think it's a great first console for Microsoft, and I know they worked with Dreamcast a little bit with Sega and all that. But the original Xbox, seriously, great console. Overshadowed by PlayStation 2, in my opinion. This is a soft mod, by the way, not a full mod, and this is version 1.6 I'm showing you. There's different folders, applications, emulators you can jump to, and games I'll show you here in a second. The original Xbox is a great console for emulation because it's essentially a consoleized PC in a way. It's got a hard drive and all that good stuff, right? So these are the games I have, a bunch of games. I don't have a complete library on here, but some of the best games on the console, including Halo and some other ones. I'll show you a few here in a second. But you can kind of see how many I got. So many good ones. Okay, going to applications. There's an application here I want to show you as well. This basically reskins what I was just showing you before. This is kind of an NES theme to it, so it's going to take a moment to load. I'll log in there. I'll show you. It's pretty cool. Kind of looks like an NES. There's some NES. It's basically the menu I was showing you before, but kind of reskinned, right? So we got applications, homebrews, games. These are the games. I'll show you. I start off showing you the original Xbox games. I obviously don't have time to show you every single one that I have. I mean, they're all alphabetical, so we'll skip ahead. I do want to show you one. First is The Simpsons Road Rage. If you haven't played this game, it's a lot of fun. It's The Simpsons, but it's like Crazy Taxi for The Simpsons. I wanted to show you this game because this game is fairly hard to emulate, and it plays it very well. You'll see here in a second. So if you like Crazy Taxi, and this is definitely a game to check out, and I'm a big fan of The Simpsons as well. I believe this was ported also to the GameCube, PlayStation 2, and maybe the Game Boy Advance. I know it came out on the handheld as well, but a lot of fun. I'm a big fan of The Simpsons. I'm a big fan of Crazy Taxi. And one thing I love about this game is the voice acting. It's got the voice actors from The Simpsons show, and it's got super funny. And every time you play it, you pick up like different characters, and they always got really funny and corny things to say. But you can see here, there's Burns. We'll pick up someone here. I'm playing as Homer, obviously, but really cool 3D environment, and definitely overlooked. I mean, this is a great game. Not an Xbox exclusive, certainly, but again, a game fairly hard to emulate. And it runs great. Now, one thing I also want to mention is my Xbox here is not modded with an HDMI cable, so some of the capture here, it might kind of look blurry. That's because I'm using AV cables to capture this through my capture device, right? I got a device that that will convert it to HDMI, but it's still not 720, right? It's not 1060. So just want to FYI let you know that. Here's another game. This is called Kung Fu Chaos, and this is an Xbox only game. Actually pretty controversial now because there's a lot of stereotypes and just when it comes to Asian culture. So I don't want to offend anyone by playing this, but I do want to point out this is a beat 'em up, 3D beat 'em up, and kind of a lot of mini games, and it's pretty funny in the humor, and it's pretty fun in gameplay. So if you can kind of look past the racial stereotypes, and that's certainly unfortunate, this game is kind of interesting in that regard. But this is what I mean by the racial crazy. But anyway, this is a mini game in it, and this reminds me of the Wipeout show. You're supposed to jump over this log that keeps spinning, and this gets super challenging. It comes back, and there I am hit again. Let's see if I can jump over. There you go. And, okay, good so far. And that's going to bounce. You get like a split second. You got super fast reflexes. But I think that's what makes this game a lot of fun. Here we go. Last life. Let's go. Right, so far, so good. Alright, getting kind of used to it, but knocked out finally. The other game I want to show you is this last Xbox game I'll show you. This is Outrun 2, also known as Outrun Coast to Coast. Ported from the arcade. I believe it came out for PlayStation 2, among other consoles. And this is a really fun racing game. Love the Outrun series by Sega, of course, and very arcadey feel. But this was probably the pinnacle for me when it comes to Outrun games. I love Outrun 2. Just the music is awesome. Got a lot of classic music from the original Outrun game. And you can see the subtle advertisements there with Shell Gas and Bridgestone and Sega and Olympus, all that cool stuff. But man, this game is so many different paths you can go take, and easy to hard. And I'm playing in manual mode, by the way, so I'm shifting. Outside of games, you've got other emulators I'll show you. This is going to be one for OpsCoin, which is like a front end, has other emulators in it, and it takes a couple seconds to load. And for the most part, it works really well. And I'll show you here in a second. I'll show you kind of there. I've got N64. Now, full disclosure, the N64 emulator loader up right now is not great. I'll show you an example of that. But all the other emulators I tried are awesome. So it's got PC Engine CD, Super Nintendo, Genesis, a bunch of arcades. It's got Game Boy and some other ones as well. All the games are alphabetical. The games do take a little bit to load. It can take up to a minute to load in some cases, which is interesting for emulation. But they all seem to play pretty well. So let's got some even classic PC games there, Duke or Doom and all that. Let's go to the N64 and let's check out. I'm going to show you a game for the N64. Some of the games play really well in it. Some games don't play at all. I was trying GoldenEye 007, doesn't really load very well. But one game I'll show you is F-Zero. This loads and plays fine, but you can see that some of the sprites, like in the racer there, it didn't complete some of the sprite work. So if you can get beyond that, it's fine, I suppose. I mean, music is great and frame rate's okay, but it's just some of the sprite work didn't complete. So you can tell it's emulated, and that's a shame. This is the only emulator I saw that had issues on this particular Xbox. And not to say that I'm sure it's just a matter of the emulator itself. I think it probably run fine on the Xbox. I'm certainly it would. But here's one. This is PlayStation. This is Symphony of the Night, Castlevania. I love the soundtrack in this, and what's awesome is the voice acting is so iconic in this. I mean, it's one of those early games with voice acting, and I feel like you can hear they're in the room and it's like reverberating off the walls. Let's check it out. Listen.
You don't belong in this world.
It was not by my hand that I'm once again given.
Yeah, you can kind of see what I mean by the sound reverberating off the walls there a little bit. But I think that's what kind of gives this game charm, to be honest. And really early, like I tip my hat. It's a very early stage of voice acting in video games, I suppose. And I think that's awesome that this game, it really, first battle, super challenging. It dive you right into it. I mean, like most Castlevania games, it's a challenge. But I love the Castlevania games. I love Symphony of the Night. Awesome game to check out for sure. And sticking to this Castlevania theme, I want to check out Rondo of Blood. This is for the PC Engine CD. Also really cool, and I love this Castlevania game. I just want to show you this because this game is hard to find. I mean, the console itself is hard to find, right? It's expensive, so it's cool to be able to play these games. And I love that the voice acting in the early stages of the game is in German. Check it out.
Die Dunkelheit trübte ihre Sinne und das Böse fraß sich.
I think the German really adds to the mood, to be honest with you. I think it's super cool. And man, the graphics and music and the soundtrack and both this and the one for PlayStation 1, the Symphony of the Night, are awesome. Here's some gameplay. You can kind of see here. It's definitely a game to check out. If you've never played this Castlevania game, absolutely check it out. Definitely worth playing. I wanted to show you this, guys. Thank you so much for checking it out. I love this soft-mounted Xbox. I think it's so much potential for this thing. Thank you for watching, guys. I appreciate subscribing. What are some Xbox games you guys recommend? Leave a comment below in the comments. Let me know. We'll see you guys soon. Take care, and of course, game on.